Hello everyone, myself FALGUNI. Welcome to our channel. We have discussed in our earlier part about the Ranga, who was Ranga, why villagers created curiosity to see him, where is Hosahari exactly located, why the narrator was too attached with his native place. Now, before we end part 1, there is a description about the uses of English language during British rule in South Indian villages, and hardly people knew the meanings of even the simplest word. Now, let's continue. That afternoon, when I was resting, Ranga came to my house with a couple of oranges in his hand. A generous, considerate fellow, it would be a fine thing to have him marry, settle down, and be a service to society, I thought. Now, one afternoon, suddenly Ranga visited narrator's house, Anger's house, to offer him oranges, and suddenly narrator thought that Ranga had the perfect age to marry and settle down. For a while, we talked about this and that. Then I came to the point. Rangappa, when do you plan to get married? Like normal हथकंडा हम लोग बोल सकते हैं, normal trick. First of all, they discuss about here and there, यानी कि this and that, यानी कि any pointless discussion, and then suddenly narrator asked Rangappa, when do you plan to get married? When do you want to settle down? I'm not going to get married now, he said. Ranga was too straightforward and too clear with his goal and his future planning that he said that no, I don't have any plan to get married right now. Why not? Narrator was amused. Why not? I need to find the right girl. I know an officer who got married only 6 months ago. He is about 30 and his wife is 25, I am told. They will be able to talk lovingly to each other. Let's say I married a very young girl. She may take my words spoken in love as words spoken in anger. Recently, a troupe in Bengaluru staged the play Sakuntala. There is no question of Dushyant falling in love with Sakuntala if she were young, like the present day brides. Is that what would have happened to Kalidas' play if one gets married? It should be to a girl who is mature, otherwise one should remain a bachelor. That's why I'm not marrying now. When narrator asked the Rangappa's clear idea about the marriage, why he is not ready to get married right now, that time Rangappa said that I need a girl. Which type of girl? Right girl, which help him in that conversation. She must be mature enough to discuss with him. Here he presented an example. I know an officer who got married only 6 months ago, and the age of officer is 30 years and the wife of his is 25. I am told, yani ki someone informed him about this incident, and they will be able to talk lovingly to each other. Means they are mature enough to discuss any points. And let's say I married a very young girl. She may take my words spoken in love as words spoken in anger. Rangappa said that if I marry a girl very young age, yani ki very in small age, then definitely she would not able to separate or understand my words in love and my words in anger. Recently, a troupe in Bengaluru stage, troupe yani ki group of at the Bengaluru stage, and they played this play Sakuntala. As we know, the Sakuntala is a famous story written by Kalidas. There is no question of Dushyant falling in love with Sakuntala if she were young, like the present day brides. And is that what would have happened to Kalidas' play if the story presented in that play Sakuntala, if it is different from the present narration, then what happened to Kalidas' play? Was it still successful? If one gets married, it should be a girl who is mature, and otherwise one should remain bachelor. That's why he decided not to marry. Is there any other reason? Narrator thought, oh, like कोई और पसंद शायद आ गई होगी. So he asked that, is there any other reason? A man should marry a girl admires. He admires. What we have now, we arrange marriages. How can one admire a girl with milk stain on one side of her face and wetness on the other? Or so young that she doesn't even know how to bite her fingers. Ranga said that, look, here we can also see that the very young age child marriages in villages. And Rangappa said that, how can you admire a girl? Even you should respect her, you should admire her if she is mature enough, and you should marry a girl like with the mature age. And how can one admire a girl with milk stain? Yani ki still says milk stain here means still the girl is very young to marry. Even she does not understand what is marriage. Then once a name fruit, the other bitter gourd. Exactly, Ranga said laughingly. So यहाँ पे जो नरेटर होता है वो बोलता है once a neem fruit और दूसरा क्या है bitter gourd. Ranga said exactly and laughing. I was distressed that the boy who I thought would make a good husband had decided to remain a bachelor. After chanting for a little longer, Ranga left. I made up my mind right then that I would get him married. So first of all, I discussed something about here and there, and then finally, the Ranga went from narrator's house, and narrator decided that whatever happened, but I will definitely prepare Ranga to get married as soon as possible. And यहाँ पे एक फ्रेज है वन अ नीम फ्रूट अनदर बिटर अ गॉड. तो तुमने सुना होगा एक नीम चला समथिंग और दूसरा करेला समथिंग, कुछ फ्रेज है, मुझे भी तो याद नहीं है, बट लाइक दैट. Ramarau's niece, a pretty girl of 11, had come to stay with him, and she was from a big town, so he knew how to play the veena and the harmonium. She also had a sweet voice. So here Ramarau's niece, a pretty girl of, just you can imagine here, only 11 years old, and she stayed with him, and she was also good in veena, playing veena, and she had a sweet voice. Both her parents had died. Whose parents? The girl who stayed at Ramarau's house, and her uncle had brought her home. Ranga was just a boy for her, and she the most suitable bride for him. So like हम लोग देखते हैं normally, not even the family members are worried about the child's marriage, but the other people, the society members, the relatives were too eager to see the marriage of their near one. So here the narrator also fixed the marriage of that girl who stayed at Ramarau's house with Ranga. Since I was frequent visitor to Ramarau's place, frequent यानी कि regular, the girl was quite free with me. I completely forgot to mention her name, Ratna. It was. So the name of the girl was Ratna. The very next morning I went to their house and told Ramarau's wife, I will send you some buttermilk for you. Ask Ratna to fetch it. So he informed Ramarau's wife that I want to give some buttermilk, so send Ratna to fetch it. Fetch it यानी कि to bring or to take it. Ratna came. It was a Friday, so she was wearing a grand sari. I told her to sit in my room and requested her to sing a song. I sent for Ranga. While she was singing the song, Krishnamurti, in front of my eyes, Ranga reached the door. Look here how they try to fix marriage of Ranga and Ratna. Ranga was mature enough, and Ratna, just 11 years old girl. So narrator played a trick. What did he do? On Friday, the Ratna wear that grand sari, and narrator said to sit her in his room, and he also requested her to sing a beautiful song, and narrator also called Ranga the same time. And when she sang the song Krishnamurti in front of my eyes, Ranga raised the door and he stopped at the threshold. Threshold यानी कि and doorstep. entrance. He didn't want to the singing to stop, but was curious to see the singer. Definitely, when we like someone's voice, we want to see that his or her face. So same thing happened with Ranga. Carefully he peeped in. Peeped in, it means looked in secretly. The light coming into the room was blocked. Ratna looked up and seeing a stranger there abruptly stopped. So when the Ranga tried to peep in, he tried to look inside who is the singer, and suddenly that light blocked, and due to that blockage, Ratna uh, felt that someone is nearby her, and she stopped singing abruptly, suddenly, all of us once or sudden. Suppose you buy the best quality mango, you eat it slowly, savoring its peel before biting into the juicy flesh. You do not want to waste any part of it. Before you can take another bite, the fruit slips out of your hand and fall to the ground. How do you feel? Ranga's face showed the same disappointment when the singing stopped. Look here, like a completely fun way that narrator present an example of mango with Ranga. How which type of suitable to that Ranga's face? Let's see again. Suppose you are buying that one best quality mango and you eat it slowly. Why you are eating slowly? Because you every bite you want to taste it, every bite you want to relish it. That's why you are savoring its peel yani ki outer skin, and savoring yani ki tasting nicely. Before biting into the juicy fruits, you do not want to waste any of the part of it. That's why you are enjoying it. But suddenly the mango slipped from your hand and it fell down. How do you feel? Like, imagine exactly Ranga felt the same thing, and he was completely disappointed when the singing stopped. You sent for me? He asked, and he came in and sat on a chair. Ratna stood at a distance, her head lowered. Ranga repeatedly glanced at her. Once our eyes met, and he looked very embarrassed. No one spoke for a long while, and when that Ranga tried to see Ratna's face, and suddenly the narrator and Ranga's eyes matched, and Ranga felt very shameful. So for a while there wasn't any discussion between them. It was my coming in that stopped the singing. Let me leave. Words, mere words. The fellow said he would leave but didn't make a move. Look, narrator said that. Ranga said that, oh, someone's singing very nicely and beautifully. But I think just because of me, the singing stopped, so let me go. Ranga says that, let me go. I should go. But there is no sign of going. इससे हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, कई बार हम लोग घर पे गेस्ट आते हैं, हम कहीं पे जाते हैं, आई थिंक हम लोगों को जब चलना चाहिए, देयर इज ओनली वर्ड्स, नो एक्शन, मीन्स खड़े नहीं होते, वहाँ पे मूवमेंट नहीं होती. तो सेम थिंग हैपन विद रंगा ने भी लाइक just words, mere words, and he just spoke, but there is no action from him, because from inner side, from his heart, he is not ready to leave the narrator's house, because now he was interested in narrator's niece. Sorry, not narrator's niece, it's Ramarau's niece, who is narrator's friend. How can one accept words to match actions in these days of Kali Yuga? Definitely, you cannot expect someone that he or she, whatever they speak, they will definitely act like this. Ratna ran inside, overcome by shyness. After a while, Ranga asked, who is that girl, Swami? So here narrator's name, Swami. Who's that inside? The lion wanted to know. Here the narrator compare Ranga with lion. Lion wanted to know who's that inside. के अंदर कौन है भाई? मुझे बताओ, मुझे खाना है उसको. So he goat who had taken shelter in the temple replied, does it matter who am I? I am a poor animal who has already eaten 9 lions. So if lion outside of the den asked that who is inside, and the goat replied that I had eaten already 9 lions. Matlab here Ranga is so beautiful that the boy, whoever seen her, they are ready to marry with her. So here the narrator nicely presented the thoughts of Ranga and Ratna. I have vowed to eat one more. Tell me, are you male or female? The lion fled the place in fear, it seems. And when the goat, here goat means Ratna. So whenever the goat said that I have already eaten that lion and now I want to eat one more, so that target of 10 will complete. And then lion fled the place यानी कि just ran away from the place and vowed यानी कि took a pledged or swore. Like he got, I said, what does it matter to either of us? Who is she? I am already married and you are not marrying Cain. Look, narrator's trick. और हम लोग होता ना प्लान का पहला स्टेज यहाँ पे बाहर आता है. Narrator says that what's the matter? Why do you want to know about that girl? I am already married and you are not ready to marry. So let's see Ranga's expression on this sentence. Here in this picture we can see that the girl Ratna, Swami यानी कि narrator, and here Ranga and this music instrument which Ratna played before Ranga entered. Very hopefully he asked, he यानी कि Ranga, see, isn't married then? His voice didn't betray his excitement, but I knew it was there. Very hopefully Ranga asked Swami, isn't she married? Like he was also curious about to know about Ratna. So his voice did not betray यानी कि so that excitement, but he was actually excited Sastri thought a little while and then said that it's something, his name something is similar to found in the ocean. Kamla. Kamla yani Kamal, lotus. The Swami said, maybe. Let's see another example. So another that like what the name or are the Swami and the Sastri able to find the exact name of the girl? Could be